Why should I save when I can just have fun? I'm still young anyway. Well, this is a term you often hear from people in their 20s, and sometimes you even hear it from your parents advising you. Although I get it, this is your opportunity to get out on your own after being stuck in school for so long and live life the way you wanted to buy the things you were never able to buy. Why deprive yourself of all the pleasures of life when you can just worry about money later on? Well, the thing is, your 20s are probably the best moments in your life to build up your wealth, because if you start early on, you will develop the right mindset, and this will become the foundation that will set you on the path to wealth. And in your 20s, for most, you only have yourself to worry about, which can be a very big advantage. Because if you just live your life without worrying about your finances, thinking you can just do it later on, I tell you, it is almost impossible for you to get out once you get used to it. And it's not a good way to go down the path if you want to grow your money and achieve financial freedom at an early period. So for this video, what we will talk about is what are the mistakes that you need to avoid to jumpstart your financial journey as early as possible. The first mistake is not saving. Of course, how can you even reach financial success if you don't save anything? Now you gotta start the habit of setting aside some money for yourself. This was well described in the book The Richest Man in Babylon, where it emphasizes that a part of what you earn is yours to keep, that you should pay yourself first. It says that you take a tenth of what you earn and save it before you pay everyone else. To understand this clearly, what most people do is buy the things they want first, pay your phone bills, electricity, car loans, etc. Then what's left, that's what they keep for themselves. They pay themselves last. So instead of doing this, what you should do is set aside money for savings first, and what's left is what you should use to pay everyone else. If your money is not enough, then adjust those things, not the money that you have to set aside for yourself. The best practice is that you take 10% of what you earn, take that aside. It's just like you tax yourself and adjust all expenses in the remaining 90%. Now, if you can't really control yourself, try to take it off of your side as quickly as possible and transfer it to another bank account. Make it harder for yourself to get that money instead of just putting it in your wallet. So if you do this every time you get your salary, you will start to make it a habit, which will be easier for you to maintain, and you're off to a very good start in your financial journey. The second mistake is not planning. If you want to be rich in the future and be able to retire early, you need to have a plan on how you will get to it. As the term says, not having a plan is already planning to fail, because with this, you will have a guide on what you need to do and where you need to go. Having one is not complicated to do. First, define your goals. What do you want to achieve? Do you wish to be ultra rich, or just to be able to retire early and not have to care about money ever again, while of course still slightly growing in the process? Second, you need to create a timeline for it. What is your preferred age of retirement? Compute how much you need every year, which in turn would let you have an idea of how much you need to save up to retire at this age. This now leads you to set out your milestones. For example, at age 25, I should have this amount, in 27, this amount, and in my 30, this amount, so on and so forth, until you reach your desired savings to have a good amount of money to retire with. Now I know a lot of you are wondering, why should I plan for my retirement while I'm still in my 20s? Well, because if you plan it early, what you have is time on your side, which is the most powerful weapon you have when you're in this stage of your life. You get to tap into the power of compounding interest at an early period, and this has made countless millionaires and even billionaires. Now, saving up for your retirement would take quite a long time, and if you just purely left it in your savings account, you don't know if it would be sufficient enough to last a lifetime. And this is where the third mistake comes in, not investing your money. With a proper habit of saving and a pathway to follow, of course, you're not just going to walk towards your end goal. It would take you a long time and may even be impossible for some of us to retire early and just end up relying on our pension fund in our 60s. This is where compounding interest and investing comes in. This will boost your progress instead of walking. This would act as a vehicle for you to reach your goal faster. Now, since there are risks involved in investing, it would be better to start first allocating money to your emergency fund so that you will have that sense of calmness even when the stock market drops. You can save up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses first, or put 50% to your emergency fund and 50% in investment. And as the time comes when you already have enough in your emergency fund, use your whole 10% for your investments. Now, if you invest properly, this may multiply your money a lot. Just take this for example. If you save $1,000 a month starting at age 20, if you invest it and earn 8% interest a year, which is the average return of the market, at age 47, you get to be a millionaire, and if you're lucky enough to get 10% interest, you can even get to as high as 1.4 million. Remember, this is only with $1,000 every month. But if you just save your money, you only have $324,000, which I'm sure wouldn't be enough to retire comfortably, and you would just end up being swallowed by the powerful force of inflation. This also emphasizes why you need to start early. Assuming you didn't save and invest in your 20s and just thought about doubling your investment in your 30s to catch up for the lost time, you still wouldn't catch up to someone who saved earlier. At the same age, you only have $810,000. Even with 10% interest, you still fall short of becoming a millionaire, even though you invested $2,000 a month. So start learning to make your money work for you. This would benefit you a lot, not only in growing your money, but also to let you continue growing even though you're already retired. The fourth mistake you need to avoid is inflating your lifestyle. This is the biggest problem of a lot of people, why they think their salary is never enough. They get a raise, then they splurge on things they always wanted to buy or travel to different places more frequently since they have larger cash on hand. The more their income grew, the larger they spend. Now it's easy to solve this problem. Though yes, if our income grew, it's true that we can spend more. But this is also true that you can save and invest more. As mentioned earlier, if you stay true to our principle of taking a part of what you earn, paying yourself first, then your savings will also inflate along with your income. By automatically taking 10% of your whole income and stacking it away from you, this will easily solve that problem. You only budget your expenses on the remaining 90%. That's why it's good to make it a habit as early as possible to take a tenth of what you earn for yourself. Since if the time comes that your income would grow, you already have that program into your mind and it would take you no effort not to be tempted to spend more. Lastly, starting a family too early. Now as mentioned, in your 20s, the biggest advantage you have is having yourself alone to worry about. You don't have a child to feed and most likely you're still staying in your parents' house, which for some lucky people, they can do for free without even contributing a single cent. But anyways, your expenses are at the bare minimum during these times, so having a responsibility early on would cut down your savings and investment. Worse, you may even end up not having enough money for it. Now the average family expense in the USA is $5,111 a month, which is around $61,000 a year, and in the Philippines, it's around 215,000 pesos a year, which is very cheap compared to the USA. But in our country, the average family income is also low. So just imagine in your 20s, for most of us who are starting, we have a low income. If you cut that amount every year, you wouldn't have enough left to save and invest, and the expenses just keep growing and growing, especially during the time that your child would go to school. No matter how you try not to inflate your lifestyle, your situation wouldn't permit you. Now this suggestion isn't for everyone, since some of us even in our 20s earn huge amounts of money. But for the majority of us who has a low income, starting a family early on wouldn't be good for our future finances. So plan your life properly, and do not let emotions and pleasure take control of your life. Try to start early as possible to make it a habit. If you really can control yourself, try to automate your life as much as possible. With the advancement of technology, it's easy to automate your life because humans are known to make errors. With automation, you act without emotions controlling you. If you earn your income, automatically put it in your savings and investment account. You gain interest from your investment, reinvest everything, never touching that money. Have credit card balances, automate it every end of the month to pay everything so that you won't gain interest from it. This is the best way to control yourself. And one more. Keep track of your progress so that you can see if you're hitting your goals. Don't make excuses. There's always a way for every problem you have, and it starts with small, simple things. Take those small steps now, it will compound over the years. With that, this ends this video for today. Now, I have a video of how I plan to retire early in the Philippines, so if you want to know my strategy, then I suggest you watch it as well. So if you have gone this far and still haven't clicked the like button, then I'd appreciate it if you do so before leaving. So thank you and see you in the next video.